The younger generation nowadays is the ones that's doing all the killing and robbing, carjacking, and all that stuff like that.
We are continuing our investigation into juvenile crime right here on our First Coast. Thousands of children and teenagers under the age of 18 are arrested each year in Duval County.
Our Juliette Dreyer went to city leaders to find out what they're doing to keep kids out of jail and keep your family safe.
I went to the most powerful people in this city, the mayor, the sheriff, the state attorney's office, to find out what they're doing to fight juvenile crime. I expected to get a lot of different answers, but it turns out they're all on the same page as to what they think is the best approach to solving the problem: accountability and intervention.
No heat.
It's a typical afternoon for the kids at the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. A safe space that some may lack in their own neighborhoods.
We've had kids walk to a bus stop and have to step over a dead body, and I can tell you that is not normal.
Lieutenant Lakeisha Burton is the executive director of JaxPal. She's also a graduate of PAL herself after getting pregnant at 15.
I spent months and months of humiliation and embarrassment because I was a child carrying a child.
But Lieutenant Burton found purpose after an officer got her involved in PAL. It gave her support, filled a void that could lead some children to a life of crime.
They're looking for validation. They're looking for someone to spend time with, and when they don't have that, they will gravitate to whomever or whatever gives them that type of satisfaction. And unfortunately, sometimes it's the gang member or the drug dealer.
The Police Athletic League is one of JSO's main juvenile crime prevention programs.
Keeping them off a street corner, they never meet a gang member, they never meet a drug dealer, they never take that path. That's how you win it.
Some initiatives go deeper. Sheriff Williams says it's a twofold approach: holding kids accountable for the crimes they commit while trying to figure out how they got to that point to begin with. He used last year's high-profile shootings at the Art Walk and Jacksonville Landing as examples.
How does a kid get to the point where he thinks that it's okay in broad daylight on the steps of the landing to pull out a gun and shoot someone?
The state attorney's office is adopting a similar approach,
where it's trying to figure out, okay, can we address why we got here in the first place?
In September 2017, State Attorney Melissa Nelson launched the Juvenile Justice Advisory Committee, a year-long review to figure out what's working and what can be improved. It allows officers to issue a citation instead of arresting teens committing misdemeanor or municipal law violations. They'd go to teen court rather than enter the criminal justice system.
Each kid is different, each case is different, and I think what's important is that we follow a process to try to fit the appropriate punishment and rehabilitation aspect.
The benefit to the public: it keeps kids out of jail, cutting down incarceration costs. It also allows officers to move on to more serious calls. It's not just talk. This past May, law enforcement and stakeholders finalized an agreement on civil citations. That month and the next, the percentage of civil citations issued jumped significantly, according to the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice. Recidivism rates for those who completed Duval County's civil citation program, just 6%.
We're talking about the lives of children.
Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry has often voiced his commitment to fighting juvenile crime. He sat down with us for 5 minutes to talk about it.
There are kids shooting kids in this city.
But the mayor says past programs haven't tracked outcomes, making it difficult to measure success. That's one of the main goals of the newly formed Kids Hope Alliance.
So if we're serving an 8-year-old today, an 8-year-old that's at risk, which I'm calling at hope, we ought to know where they are when they're 12, 13, 14 years old.
The ultimate goal: intervene before children commit serious crimes to begin with. Sheriff Mike Williams also says he wants to get JSO officers more involved in the communities they serve, but right now they're going from call to call to call. So he hopes once they get more officers on the ground and they're able to divide those calls up more, they'll be able to build those relationships, which he calls priceless. Juliette Dreyer, First Coast News, on your side.